In today's society, businesses are under increasing pressure to not only make a profit but also to act in an ethical and responsible manner. Consumers, employees, and other stakeholders are demanding that businesses operate with honesty, integrity, and transparency. That's why the topic of business ethics is more important than ever. The course, Business Ethics, is designed to help individuals and organizations understand the moral principles and values that guide behavior in the business world. The course covers a wide range of topics, including the importance of business ethics, the needs and interests of stakeholders, ethical principles, and ethical dilemmas. The course also explores topics such as corporate social responsibility, codes of ethics, ethical leadership, legal compliance, and the importance of training and education on business ethics. By the end of the course, students will have a thorough understanding of the role of business ethics in today's society and be equipped with the knowledge and tools to make ethical decisions in the workplace. Whether you are a business owner, manager, or employee, this course is a must for anyone who wants to operate in an ethical and responsible manner. Number 1, Definition. Business ethics refers to the moral principles and values that guide the behavior of individuals and organizations in the business world. In the cutthroat world of business, it can be easy to lose sight of what really matters. In a dog-eat-dog industry where profits are everything, it can be easy to ignore the moral and ethical principles that should guide our behavior. This is where business ethics comes in. At its core, business ethics is all about doing the right thing. It refers to the moral principles and values that guide the behavior of individuals and organizations in the business world. It's about putting people and planet first, rather than just profits. Business ethics recognizes that businesses have a responsibility to society and the environment, and that their actions can have far-reaching consequences. So, what are some of the key principles of business ethics? Honesty and integrity are essential, as is fairness and respect for all stakeholders. Responsibility and transparency are also important, as businesses need to be accountable for their actions and decisions. These principles guide the behavior of individuals and organizations, helping them to make ethical decisions in complex and challenging situations. Of course, business ethics can be easier said than done. It's one thing to talk about doing the right thing, but quite another to put those principles into practice. Ethical dilemmas are common in the business world, and making decisions that are both ethical and profitable can be challenging. This is where having a strong ethical framework can be helpful, as it provides guidance and support for individuals and organizations. In short, business ethics is an essential aspect of the modern business world. It helps to ensure that businesses operate in a responsible and sustainable way, and that they take into account the needs and interests of all stakeholders. By prioritizing people and planet alongside profits, we can create a more equitable and sustainable world for everyone. Number 2, Importance. Business ethics are important because they help to ensure that businesses operate in a responsible and sustainable way, and that they do not engage in unethical behavior that harms stakeholders. The world of business is often portrayed as cutthroat, ruthless, and dog-eat-dog. But it doesn't have to be that way. In fact, business ethics can play a crucial role in ensuring that businesses operate in a responsible and sustainable way, and that they don't engage in unethical behavior that harms stakeholders. At its core, business ethics is all about doing the right thing. It's about putting people and planet first, and recognizing that businesses have a responsibility to society and the environment. By prioritizing ethical behavior, businesses can build trust and credibility with their stakeholders, which can help to improve their bottom line in the long run. But why is this so important? For starters, unethical behavior can have serious consequences. From environmental disasters to financial scandals, there are countless examples of businesses that have caused harm to stakeholders due to unethical behavior. This can result in legal action, reputational damage, and financial losses. On the other hand, businesses that prioritize ethics and responsibility can benefit in a number of ways. They can build strong relationships with customers, employees, and suppliers, which can lead to increased loyalty and repeat business. They can also attract top talent, as employees are often drawn to companies that share their values. Ultimately, the importance of business ethics lies in its ability to create a more equitable and sustainable world for everyone. By prioritizing the needs and interests of all stakeholders, businesses can help to create a more just and prosperous society. And in doing so, they can also build a brighter future for themselves and their shareholders. Number 3. Stakeholders. Business ethics consider the needs and interests of all stakeholders, including customers, employees, shareholders, suppliers, and the wider community. When it comes to business, it's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of profit. But what about the people and communities that are impacted by business decisions? This is where business ethics comes in, and why considering the needs and interests of all stakeholders is so important. Stakeholders are the individuals and groups that are impacted by a business's actions and decisions. They include customers, employees, shareholders, suppliers, and the wider community. By considering the needs and interests of all stakeholders, businesses can make more informed and ethical decisions that take into account the broader impact of their actions. For example, a business that only considers the interests of its shareholders may prioritize profits over the well-being of its employees. This can lead to poor working conditions, low wages, and a high turnover rate. On the other hand, a business that considers the needs of all stakeholders may prioritize fair wages and benefits for employees, which can lead to a more loyal and productive workforce. By considering the needs and interests of all stakeholders, businesses can also build trust and credibility with their customers and the wider community. This can lead to increased brand loyalty and customer satisfaction, as well as a more positive reputation in the marketplace. Of course, it's not always easy to balance the needs of different stakeholders. In some cases, there may be trade-offs between different interests. But by prioritizing ethical behavior and considering the broader impact of their decisions, businesses can help to create a more just and sustainable world for everyone. Number 4. Principles. Some of the key principles of business ethics include honesty, integrity, fairness, respect, responsibility, and transparency. When it comes to business ethics, there are a few key principles that guide ethical behavior. These principles are essential for businesses to operate in a responsible and sustainable way, and to build trust and credibility with stakeholders. Honesty is perhaps the most important principle of business ethics. Businesses should be truthful and transparent in their dealings with stakeholders, and should avoid making false or misleading claims. This includes being honest about the quality and safety of products, as well as the financial health of the business. Integrity is also critical in business ethics. This means acting with a sense of moral courage and doing the right thing, even when it's difficult or unpopular. Businesses that prioritize integrity are more likely to be seen as trustworthy and reliable, which can help to build strong relationships with stakeholders. Fairness is another key principle of business ethics. This means treating all stakeholders equitably and avoiding favoritism or discrimination. Businesses should be transparent about their policies and practices, and should ensure that everyone is given a fair chance to succeed. Respect is also essential in business ethics. This means treating others with dignity and recognizing their inherent worth. Businesses should respect the rights of all stakeholders, including employees, customers, and the wider community. Responsibility is a key principle of business ethics as well. This means recognizing that businesses have a responsibility to society and the environment, and should act accordingly. This includes taking steps to reduce their environmental impact, as well as supporting social causes and giving back to the community. Finally, transparency is essential in business ethics. This means being open and honest about business practices, policies, and decisions. Businesses should provide clear and accurate information to stakeholders, and should be accountable for their actions. By following these key principles of business ethics, businesses can help to create a more just and sustainable world for everyone. They can build trust and credibility with stakeholders, and can help to improve their bottom line in the long run. Number 5. Ethical dilemmas. Business ethics can be challenging because they often involve difficult ethical dilemmas, such as balancing the interests of different stakeholders, and making decisions that are both ethical and profitable. Running a business isn't always easy, and when it comes to making ethical decisions, things can get even more complicated. Business ethics often involve difficult ethical dilemmas that can be challenging to navigate, particularly when there are competing interests at stake. One of the biggest challenges of business ethics is balancing the interests of different stakeholders. For example, a business may need to balance the needs of its customers with the needs of its shareholders, or the needs of its employees with the needs of the wider community. This can create difficult ethical dilemmas that require careful consideration and ethical reasoning. Another challenge of business ethics is making decisions that are both ethical and profitable. In some cases, there may be a tension between what is ethically right and what is financially feasible. For example, a business may need to choose between investing in sustainable practices that are good for the environment, but may be more costly, or cutting corners to maximize profits. Business ethics can also involve complex ethical dilemmas related to issues such as privacy, diversity, and social responsibility. For example, a business may need to decide how to collect and use customer data in an ethical and responsible way, or how to address issues of discrimination and diversity in the workplace. Despite these challenges, business ethics is essential for creating a more just and sustainable world. By navigating difficult ethical dilemmas and making ethical decisions, businesses can build trust and credibility with stakeholders, and contribute to a more positive and responsible business environment. Number 6. Corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility is an important aspect of business ethics, and refers to a company's responsibility to consider the impact of its actions on society and the environment. Corporate social responsibility has become an increasingly important aspect of business ethics in recent years. Companies are recognizing that they have a responsibility to consider the impact of their actions on society and the environment, and are taking steps to become more socially and environmentally responsible. CSR can take many different forms, depending on the company and the industry. Some companies may focus on reducing their environmental impact, by implementing sustainable practices and reducing their carbon footprint. Others may focus on supporting social causes, such as promoting diversity and inclusion, or investing in education and community development. One of the key benefits of CSR is that it can help to build trust and credibility with stakeholders. By demonstrating a commitment to social and environmental responsibility, companies can create a positive reputation and improve their brand image. This can help to attract customers, investors, and employees who share similar values and priorities. Another benefit of CSR is that it can help to improve the bottom line. By implementing sustainable practices and reducing waste, for example, companies can save money on resources and energy costs. Additionally, by investing in social causes, companies can build stronger relationships with their customers and communities, which can lead to increased sales and profitability in the long run. Overall, corporate social responsibility is an essential aspect of business ethics. By recognizing their responsibility to society and the environment, companies can contribute to a more just and sustainable world, while also building trust and credibility with stakeholders, and improving their bottom line. Number 7. Code of Ethics. Many companies have a code of ethics that outlines their ethical principles and values, and provides guidance to employees on how to behave in different situations. A code of ethics is an important tool that many companies use to guide ethical behavior among their employees. Essentially, a code of ethics is a set of guidelines that outlines the company's ethical principles and values, and provides guidance to employees on how to behave in different situations. The purpose of a code of ethics is to ensure that everyone within the company is on the same page when it comes to ethical behavior. By providing clear guidance on what is and isn't acceptable, a code of ethics can help to prevent unethical behavior and promote a culture of integrity and responsibility. Many codes of ethics include specific rules and guidelines that employees must follow, such as prohibitions on bribery, conflicts of interest, and insider trading. They may also outline expectations around confidentiality, data privacy, and responsible use of company resources. In addition to providing guidance to employees, a code of ethics can also be an important tool for building trust and credibility with stakeholders. By publicly committing to ethical behavior and accountability, companies can build a positive reputation and demonstrate their commitment to responsible business practices. However, simply having a code of ethics is not enough. Companies must also ensure that their employees understand the code and are held accountable for following it. This may involve regular training and education on ethical behavior, as well as systems for reporting and addressing violations of the code. Overall, a code of ethics is an important aspect of business ethics, and can help to promote a culture of responsibility and integrity within a company. Number 8. Ethical leadership. Ethical leadership is essential for creating an ethical culture within an organization, and involves leading by example and promoting ethical behavior at all levels. Ethical leadership is a critical component of business ethics, and plays a crucial role in creating an ethical culture within an organization. Essentially, ethical leadership involves leading by example and promoting ethical behavior at all levels of the organization. One of the key aspects of ethical leadership is setting a positive tone at the top. When leaders prioritize ethics and integrity in their own behavior, it sends a strong message to employees that ethical behavior is valued and expected. This can help to create a culture of trust and accountability, where employees feel empowered to make ethical decisions and speak up when they see something that doesn't align with the company's values. Ethical leaders also prioritize transparency and accountability. They are willing to admit when mistakes have been made, and take responsibility for correcting them. They encourage open communication and dialogue, and are receptive to feedback and constructive criticism. Another important aspect of ethical leadership is promoting a culture of fairness and respect. This means treating all employees with dignity and respect, and ensuring that policies and procedures are fair and equitable for all. Ethical leaders also recognize the importance of diversity and inclusion, and work to create a workplace where everyone feels valued and included. Overall, ethical leadership is essential for creating an ethical culture within an organization. By setting a positive example, promoting transparency and accountability, and fostering a culture of fairness and respect, ethical leaders can help to build trust and credibility with stakeholders, and ensure that the company operates in a responsible and sustainable way. Number 9. Legal compliance. Business ethics and legal compliance are not the same thing, but they are closely related. While legal compliance is necessary, it is not sufficient for ensuring ethical behavior. When it comes to business ethics, legal compliance is often seen as the bare minimum. While following the law is important, it is not always enough to ensure that a company is acting ethically. In fact, there are many situations where legal compliance and ethical behavior may not align. For example, a company may be technically complying with all applicable laws and regulations, but may still engage in practices that are harmful to the environment or that exploit workers. Alternatively, a company may be following the law, but may be engaging in deceptive or misleading advertising practices that are not in the best interests of consumers. In order to truly act ethically, companies need to go beyond mere legal compliance and consider the broader impact of their actions on stakeholders and the wider community. This means considering factors such as social responsibility, environmental sustainability, and the well-being of employees and customers. Ultimately, companies that prioritize ethical behavior are more likely to build trust and credibility with stakeholders, which can help to boost their reputation and enhance their long-term success. By contrast, companies that focus solely on legal compliance may find themselves at risk of legal and financial penalties, as well as damage to their reputation and brand. In short, while legal compliance is necessary, it is not sufficient for ensuring ethical behavior. Companies that prioritize ethics and take a broader view of their responsibilities to stakeholders are more likely to succeed in the long term and make a positive impact on the world around them. Number 10. Training and education. Providing training and education on business ethics is important for helping employees understand their ethical responsibilities and making ethical decisions in the workplace. Training and education are essential components of promoting ethical behavior in the workplace. When employees understand their ethical responsibilities and have the tools they need to make ethical decisions, they are more likely to act in ways that are consistent with the values and principles of their organization. Ethics training can take many forms, from in-person workshops to online courses and videos. Some companies may also choose to provide ongoing education and training opportunities to help employees stay up to date on the latest ethical issues and best practices. By providing employees with the knowledge and skills they need to make ethical decisions, companies can create a culture of integrity and trust. This can help to improve employee morale and engagement, as well as enhance the company's reputation and brand. Moreover, ethics training can also help companies to avoid legal and financial penalties by ensuring that employees understand the legal and regulatory requirements that apply to their work. This can help to prevent costly mistakes and violations that can damage the company's bottom line and reputation. In summary, providing training and education on business ethics is a critical component of promoting ethical behavior in the workplace. By equipping employees with the knowledge and skills they need to make ethical decisions, companies can create a culture of integrity and trust that can enhance their long-term success and make a positive impact on society as a whole.